Shalom, 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 Zion. Uh, Moreh Yoshiyahu from the Ark in Fresno, California, and decided to make this video because actually I missed yesterday or last night from the Bible study, but I thought I'd make it up with a live stream. We were going through the book of Genesis. If you are looking at the background where I am right now, this is where we're going to be gathering for Passover. We'll be gathering here at Millerton Lake, which is the right after the Passover meal. The next day we're going to be coming out here. We're going to baptize out here. I'm going to have more information about that. It's a beautiful, beautiful lake, and think that we're going to have a great time. I got other pictures that I'll put, and I really believe this is going to Passover, and this is where we'll be baptizing. So and gathering on that Shabbat, which is let me get it right, 31st. So it'll be March 31st. We'll be here. Thought I come up a video from last that I was going to put up last night. I want to make it live right now, and if you can, to get your Bible. Another way to study, whether it's a computer, whether it's a laptop, iPad, it doesn't matter. And let's get together let's study the scriptures. And one of the things that, of course, I've been talking about a lot lately is getting back to focus what we are, who we are, and whose we are. Getting back to putting first things first. And so one of the things I thought would be necessary is for us to go through the book of Genesis and look at the foundational truths of our message, of our people, and of our Elohim. So Genesis chapter 1. I've already dealt with day 1, and I think the name of that was division. And day 2, the firmament and the firmament and redemption. I think that's what I call it. But today I want to look at day 3. Okay, so day 3. So if you got your Bible, you want to open your Bible to Bereshit, which is Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to be looking at beginning at verse 9. Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. Abba, bless your word as it goes out worldwide to the 12 tribes of Israel and companions, that it will help us open our eyes to see your plan from the very beginning, that we would know better who we are and whose we are, and help our love increase. To you all glory, honor, praise belong to you, Abba. Amen. Day 3 of Genesis chapter 1, verse 9. Listen to this. And Elohim said, let the waters under the Shamayim be gathered together into one place. You see that? And it says, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth. And the collection or the gathering together of the waters called he called seas. And Elohim saw that it was, watch this, it was good. Okay? Then the next, in verse 11, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the plant yielding seed, and the fruit tree that yield fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth, and it came to be so, and it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the herb yielding seeds, or the plant that yields seeds, and the tree that yields its fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning was the third day. All right, so let's examine this third day, and then let's see if we can make some parallels between this third day of creation and the redemption of Yah's people. Remember that as we study Genesis, Genesis never ever is going to start off arguing the existence of Yah. This is not going to happen. And so therefore, because the Bible does not argue the existence of Yah, we don't argue the existence of Yah. The Bible just simply states later on in the Bible, in the scriptures, that the fool has said in his heart, there is no Elohim. So the Bible starts off with a statement of fact. And the Bible also starts off with a creation story, again, that there's no debating. There's no like back and forth with the creation story. When you see the creation story, it is what it is. Watch this. And it's written in such a way to where man had no input in the creation story. Man is not working with Elohim in creation. As a matter of fact, everything was made and created on the planet, the heaven and the earth, before man even got here, before he even made man. So I want you to really understand that he is writing this by revelation of Yah. He's writing this by the inspiration of the Most High Yah. This is not oral tradition being passed down. This is the revelation of Yah. First of all, only Yah was here during the creation, so the way he created it and the way he told Moshe he did it is the way he did it. Now, whether you like that or not, that's up to you. Whether you can believe it or not, once again, that's up to you. But my job as a Moreh is to actually teach you what it says. Okay? All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. As we studied Genesis chapter 1, and we looked at the word to create, or that word means he fattened. We looked at another word that says, and the earth was. So where it says, and the earth was without form and void, that the idea was kind of way the earth, we've already looked at that. So that we don't know what happened from the very time Yah created the heavens and the earth, and I hate to use the word time, but from the time he created the heaven and the earth to the time he decided to let there be light, and that right there is something that a lot of people have a lot of theories about. I'm not going to go into it. The only thing I know for a fact is that we are told in Isaiah chapter 45 verse 18, when we get deeper into the Bible, deeper into the Holy Script, we are told that there was a war in heaven, in the Shamayim, and Hashatan and demons were then cast down into the earth. We find that out later. We don't know that at this point. We're going to find out later in chapter 2 and in chapter 3, find out that there is an here. But at this point, we don't see that, but we're going to see it eventually. So I just want you to know that we've covered that information, that something happened, and Yah had to then bring order into chaos. He had to, or he decided, I would say like that, decided to fatten the earth. He decided to fill the heavens and the earth. And so he began first by the light, and then he separated light from darkness. Second thing he did was took the turbulent oceans or seas or the waters, he divided it and gave us our firmament. Now in day 3, it's very interesting. In day 3 it says, and Elohim said, let the waters under the heavens, or under the Shemayim, be gathered into one place. Okay? It says, and let the dry land appear. So, that word there for gather together is our word, which is a kufhe, and aska, I believe, pronounce that as a root. It means to collect. It also means to control or to calm down, and also means to hold back. And so when you see what the Most High is doing here when he says, and let the waters be placed, what he's saying to this big, huge, turbulent world that was just going crazy. Water was very boisterous and roaring, we know, based on this verse. Before he did anything, and you can see the motif where the winds are boisterous, and then he said let it be gathered later in the Hamashiach when he's out on the sea, and there's a boisterous wind and the boat's being tossed, and he then and he speaks to the waves, or he speaks. And so you see that picture here when it says the waters be gathered together. It means let the water get it. I think y'all got that. He says let them be gathered together, and then there's the word into one place. And of course we know that that word is chad, and it's where we get our word one, or like ahad. But the het is like a tent wall, and the dalet. So in Hebrew, the het is tent wall. The dalet. You see this word where it says into one. The idea is the wall or the door that's on the wall. It has to do with separation. I want you to really understand that one place where you have a tent, which is in a circular motion. I mean, it's made, if you know what a bet looks like, you know that the tent most of the time was made in a circle, or at least off for you. The pictograph for a bet, if y'all don't know it, looks like this in ancient Hebrew. It looks like this. And the door of the tent, so this will be the entrance to the tent here. The door is the entrance. The door would be here, and it's a flap. You go through here. This will be the first room. This will divide from another room. So I think you guys can see that. All right. Just the reason why I'm showing you is because this picture right here is the picture he's trying to give us when it says, and let the waters be gathered into one place. If this whole thing was full of water, and then he said, let it be gathered into one place, what he's saying is, let all the waters